go into the game to play team baseball and try and finish in a positive direction here as we exit this year.
Miggy down the line, into the corner it goes. Fair ball! They are racing on around. Come on down, says Youngblood, to the plate. We're tied!
So the next challenge is to play this out strong in the right way and be competitive and play as a team. So if you have pride, you'll stick to it.
Play the music all the way to the wall it goes. Turn it up loud. Come on down, Justin Upton. The Diamondbacks win. Now you can turn that music up. And you can turn it up at Chase Field again. Saturday night, a beautiful night indoors for baseball. We all know it's hot outside. Can these Diamondbacks get hot and sprint to the finish line? The Colorado Rockies in town. It is a game 2 of a 3-game series, and we've got a fun pitching matchups to talk about. Of course, Barry Enright faced Steven Strasburg last time out. Now he faces Ubaldo Jimenez, who has reeled off a handful of positive starts. He is now back in the Cy Young race. Hi, folks. Alongside Hall of Fame broadcaster Joe Garagiola, my name is Darren Sutton. Welcome back to the ballpark. We're going to talk about this pitching matchup, Joe, and we're going to start with a quote from Barry Enright, and I'd love your thoughts. And it, I think, sums up who he has been so far. It's our Geico quote. I know what I am. I'm not going to be in the high 90s bowling a fastball by you guy. I'm not going to have an absolutely nasty breaking pitch each and every game. I'm going to have to see what I'm doing best. He's a pitcher, not a thrower.
He is a pitcher by what he says and by what he does, and he doesn't let out any secrets. He tells you what he's not going to be, but he's not going to tell you what he is going to be.
And the interesting thing about Enright, 9 straight starts, 5 or more innings, 3 earned runs or less. It's not supposed to be that way. Usually nerves overtake a young pitcher.
Well, he gets in trouble. He's going to throw it right down the middle, and he moves that ball around and not afraid to come inside, which delivers the message.
Barry Enright on the mound out of Pepperdine handles the bat very well as well. Now, Ubaldo Jimenez, he blew out of the gates, was the best pitcher in the game, and then he went about 5 or 6 starts where he was, if anything, human. Well, now he's back. He's right back in the Cy Young race. Pure stuff, one of the best pitchers in the game.
Well, he can pitch away from his mistakes when you got the kind of stuff he's got. I was surprised to see a stat that he's one of the slower pitchers in the league because he throws hard.
Yeah, you talked about that. Takes his time to deliver those pitches. Could that, in fact, get a little concrete in the legs of the hitters if you're so slow as a pitcher?
It'll take the juice away from him because you're wondering, when's he going to throw it? You know, you're going to have to throw it because that's the way this game is played.
All right, glad to have you with us. You ready to talk some baseball?
Oh, yeah, always ready to talk baseball.
Glad to have Joe back in the booth. And a quick look at the man we'll be speaking of next, a little teaser here for Kelly Johnson.
Hard-hitting Kelly Johnson.
We know that's what we call him. Boy, we've got a good southern voice in there now, summing it up. A Mississippi voice talking about the Texan. Kelly talks about how he will handle Ubaldo Jimenez right after this.
warming up, getting set for this one. He is 17-3 on the season. He is 3-0 with an ERA under 1 against the Diamondbacks. Jody Jackson with you from Chase Field on this Saturday night. And it is a great pitching matchup. Barry Enright, who's been terrific for the Diamondbacks, the rookie, against Ubaldo Jimenez. Now, Kelly Johnson, he's been getting it done all season long, particularly last night in that 10th inning. Well, he's gotten it done against Jimenez as well. His numbers, 5 for 16 in his career with 7 walks. So talk about a terrific on-base percentage. So who better to ask for a scouting report on Jimenez?
I think he's a guy like, that you got to really stay patient, maybe make him throw fastballs for strikes, because what I've noticed is he tends to go to off-speed pitches pretty quick and sometimes can be pretty wild with the fastball. So, I don't know, it's tough not to go up there and think you got to turn around 97, 99, but at the same time, it may not be the easiest pitch to hit, so it might look for other pitches.
And Johnson and the Diamondbacks will see Jimenez. The Rockies will get their first look at Barry Enright. It's very good against scary good. A terrific matchup coming up next here from Chase Field on this Saturday night.
Been a very good one. Jody will be joining us here in a bit. Barry Enright ready to go. Eric Young Jr., Dexter Fowler, and Seth Smith. Of course, with Smith, Brad Hawpe released a couple of days back. And so Smith gets an opportunity. You get an opportunity to watch baseball tonight. Glad you have chosen to be with us as Young takes it down the line. And a nice play made by our Gold Glover on a leap as he hauls that one in. That's Ron Pennington down there, Joe.
Can he hit?
That's a good question.
If he can hit, give him a uni. That was a great catch.
Ron, nice job. That one sails outside.
Hey,
1-1 the count.
You got an early message, though, jumping on that first pitch. That's a real tribute to you, the Diamondback pitcher.
A strike thrower, we've talked about it. He's fun to watch work. I think you summed it up, and we hope it plays out. The ball player in you said, when it's all said and done, as we see the numbers delivered by the UPS store, that it's a comfortable offer when he gets you. What does that mean?
That means you go back to the bench after making an out 4 times and say, how do you get me out? It feels comfortable. You're not upset at anybody, and you just can't figure it out. And he's too nice a guy. Look at him. Nice-looking kid, smile, and he sticks an offer on you.
That's Barry Enright. I mean, that sums it up to a T. Fastball chasing up and out of the zone as he elevates. Let's take a look at the entire starting lineup for the Colorado Rockies. It's Dexter Fowler behind, then it's Seth Smith, Troy Tulowitzki, Ian Stewart, Todd Helton, Chris Iannetta, Jonathan Herrera, and Ubaldo Jimenez. And skipper Jim Tracy, Dodgers manager, Pirates manager, and in Colorado, he pulled a minor miracle off last year. Dexter Fowler popped up. And defensively for Arizona, you saw Young in the middle, flanking Young in the outfield. Parra in left, Upton in right. On the infield, it's Reynolds, Drew Johnson, Adam LaRoche, Miguel Montero, the catcher, behind home plate. All the guys wearing their Saturday black hats and jerseys.
And you've already made a note that they're jumping on the first pitch. You could bet me they had a big meeting about that this guy's not going to walk too many, so get ready to swing the bat.
League average first pitch strikes is 59% of all pitches. He is 3% higher than that. And that's part of his success, as that one is low. 1-0 the count.
The key to pitching, I think, is pitching fast and throwing first pitch strikes, making the hitter swing.
A little bit of sink. 2-0 the count. What does he throw? Well, the fastball average is 90, about 6 out of 10. Slider, curve, changeup. And as Joe and I were talking about before the game, everything about average, except for the head and the heart. And the head and the heart, they count.
Oh, big time. And the other thing is he moves the ball around. He's in and out. He's up and down. Eric Young chased a high fastball. I mean, he's not afraid to throw strikes, but he moves that ball.
3-1 the count. Not about to walk Seth Smith, getting an opportunity to play every day. August, he's been quiet, so let's see how daily at bats treat him. 2 for 28 this month. Low ball 4. Doesn't walk many. That's 18 walks and 52 2/3. But a 2-out walk to Smith in front of Troy Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki, 12 home runs, 53 batted in. Hitting .364 this month. And he is, for me, the picture of the evolution of a major league shortstop. Just the next stage. Bigger, stronger, fine defender. But he looks like, well, you go back a couple of decades, this would be a slugging right fielder the way he is built. Speaking of slugging, high fly ball center field. Chris Young, just enough room. Now back in the 60s and 70s, they didn't make shortstops the size with the power of Troy Tulowitzki.
Given you. I know we beat him. Was it last year when Reynolds hit a home run off him? You can hit his fastball. I think the key is if you get him, you can get him in favorable counts. That may be the first pitch, but you got to kind of pay attention to what's going on in the game. If he's pounding the first strike in. Kind of sad to see what he's given you. I know we beat him, was it last year when Reynolds hit a home run off him? You know, you can hit his fastball. I think the key is if you get him in favorable counts. That may be the first pitch, but you got to kind of pay attention to what's going on in the game. If he's pounding the first strike in there, then, you know, in general, we'd probably work the count a little bit, try and get his pitch count up. But if he's pounding strikes in there, you got to be ready. You know, when you get you 0-2, it's tough.
For any pitcher, when you're facing a hitter, 0-2 is the best place to be when you have the gifts of this gentleman, Ubaldo Jimenez. It's a grand style. You officially have ownership of the opposing hitter. 17-3 at 2.59 ERA. As that fastball gets 93 miles an hour. 26 years old, out of Nagua in the Dominican Republic. Signed with the Rockies as a free agent in 2001. But this year, Joe and folks, this is his coming out party this year.
Oh, yeah. He's a major league pitcher.
And he's just getting warmed up. 91, 93, now 95 with the fastballs. 2-1 the count. Pitch is low. 3-1 the count.
He has been speeding up his pitches. I watched that because I saw a clip where he was one of the slowest pitchers in the league.
You were talking about that, guys that kind of slogged their way through. Stepping off, walking around, drew, high fly, ball left field. Steven is erased. Let's take a look at top to bottom. The Diamondbacks starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Earlier this year, Justin Upton had the day off against Ubaldo Jimenez. Glad to see him in there, though he's had a tough career against him. It's Kelly Johnson, Chris Young, Adam LaRoche, Reynolds, Montero. We'll hear from him a bit later. You'll want to hear it. Gerardo Parra and Barry Enright. But Justin Upton, he's never gotten a hit in his career against Ubaldo Jimenez. Never, ever, ever.
He'll break that tonight because he's got a different approach.
Breaking ball, 0-1 the count. But whether he has or he hasn't, he's in the lineup.
And he's a threat.
Waves at the breaking ball there. Fastball, now he's up to 98 miles an hour. There you go. And Kirk Gibson telling us when you're 0-2, you're in big trouble. Let's see how Upton handles it. Bouncing ball, ranging to his left to make the play. Is the third baseman Ian Stewart. Defensively for the Rockies as we continue setting up this ball game. Eric Young, Dexter Fowler, Seth Smith outfield. Infield Stewart, Tulowitzki, Herrera is at second. Gold Glover Todd Helton is at first. Chris Iannetta catches Ubaldo Jimenez. And you better be a solid center fielder if you play at Coors Field. There's more acreage there to cover, and that is Fowler's assignment. As the pitch is away, 1-0 the count to Kelly Johnson. You know, your list of slow workers, we were talking about that. Ubaldo Jimenez on that list, the 1-0. 1-1, Josh Beckett. Derek Lowe surprises me.
He does, huh?
He's a pitch to contact guy.
Yeah.
Got to keep the pace going between pitches, don't you?
You would think, but he's still on that slow list.
Needs his infielders, Joe.
All of them.
Well, they all do, you're right. Tim Lincecum, one of the fastest workers in the game. Give me the ball, let's go. Give me the ball, let's go. As that one is fouled back.
The way he pitches, Lincecum, it's almost like the ball is on a string. You know, he throws it back, throws it back, throws it back.
One guy on here doesn't surprise me at all because it's been a trademark of his. That's the White Sox Mark Burley.
Oh, yeah.
Kelly looks at a curve ball that dives low. Good pitch. Nice take. 3-2 the count. Kelly talking about facing Jimenez because he's a .313 hitter against him.
I thought it was pretty interesting when he was talking to Jody Jackson about facing Jimenez. That you know, he's got the good fastball, but he changes speeds, and you just have to be patient. He's a better hitter than I thought he was. I'll tell you that.
That time pulled the string on him. A changeup. It is rolled out to second base. 1, 2, 3 go the Diamondbacks. On a warm day outdoors, we come indoors, and Ian Stewart gets it going. Stewart having a hot month of August as he takes a fastball high. 1-0 the count.
It's interesting to see what Enright was going to do on the first pitch. Was he going to throw a strike because everybody was jumping on that first pitch? He just showed him this fastball.
Comes back with a slow curveball there to follow it up.
If you can spot the ball and change speeds, you're way ahead of the game.
The 1-1. Throw it again, left it up that time. And Stewart ready to go. You know what? Let's take a look down to the minor leagues here briefly. We've got a surprise for you. Waiting in the wings. Well, how about Mike Hampton? What do you mean, Mike Hampton? He's not a Diamondbacks minor leaguer. He is now. He signed a minor league deal today. 15 seasons in the major leagues. Shoulder and knee problems at the end of the year last year when pitching in Houston. But Mike Hampton, he will go down to Reno and see what he has left. Oh, is a great athlete and a great hitter. A Valley resident. As Todd Helton comes up with a base hit. All the way to third goes Ian Stewart, so right away a little bit of pressure being put on by Stewart and Helton.
Boy, I tell you, I think if I was catching, I'd go out there and say, hey, these guys are jumping on the first pitch. What are we going to do? You got any ideas? And if he doesn't have an idea and I didn't have an idea as a catcher, I'd make one up. But you're going to have to do something to kind of plug the leak.
Here's Chris Iannetta. Been a couple of off-speed pitches that have so far been the undoing. The curveball up, that's what Stewart hit, and Helton hit a changeup that was up. You're thinking double play, certainly willing to give up one run. He is a fly ball pitcher, though, because he pitches up there.
And once again, jumping on the first pitch. That's one of the first things you look for as a catcher. What is the other team doing? When are they really charging and swinging that bat?
A couple of catchers close to one another right now. There's your double play ball. Instead, it is booted. They get one out. Now, to be fair to Kelly Johnson, that was hit on the ground, but it was torched. 1-0. Colorado leads it. An RBI for Chris Iannetta. Reaches on the fielder's choice.
Second baseman, number 18,
Hung with it nicely.
Well, he didn't panic, did he?
Well, you are really onto something, though, Joe. And this is the first time we've seen this against Enright, where clubs have just decided, as that one is outside, if it's anywhere within the zip code, we're going to swing and swing a lot.
Yeah. Infield's playing halfway for Herrera. Kind of an interesting defense.
Reynolds way in at third. He is on the grass. Why is that, do you think?
Well, he wants to take away the bunt, obviously, because this guy, you know, he's not batting eighth because he's a bad kid. He's batting eighth because he's not that good a hitter. And he's going to take away one of his weapons. Now taking a good look at his coach.
1-1 to count to the Venezuelan born out of Maracaibo in Venezuela, Jonathan Herrera. Again, they go to swing, and this one's popped up. They were in a few steps. Joe mentioned that with Drew, but an easy chance as he heads on back. Boy, they have brought their bats for a reason.
You can almost hear him rattling right now from the bat.
Let's go, let's go.
Rack. Come on, get me up there. Let me get that bat going.
Here's their hitting coach, Don Baylor.
Could he hit?
Stood right up on top of that plate, too, didn't he?
And he got hit a lot, never made a big deal out of it. And he always had that one saying that he would always regroup. If he got a bad swing, he'd step out, kind of talk to himself and regroup. He's a pretty good manager.
Chicago Cubs, Colorado Rockies. 1-0 the count, Jimenez. It's an interesting concept. The ability to regroup, slow things down, pull yourself together. A little chopper. And in time for the out, Jimenez is erased. The man who leads off the next inning, Chris Young. Talk a little bit about his regrouping, if you will. Glad to have you back at the ballpark. And a fine play being made down the line by our Golden Glover. So we were speaking about regrouping, and that was a Baylor philosophy, Joe, and you were saying one that he really employed. Chris Young, as he walks into the batter's box, and this is before the game, his hitting coach Jack Howell shared with me. He said Young is a daily guy in the batting cage for early work every single day. He said, but with regard to his approach in the game and his day-to-day activities within the game, he has become one of the better self-coaches inside of that dugout and in the lineup, which means to me, that's exactly what you're saying. He knows how to make adjustments. He is learning how to regroup like Baylor did.
You watch him after a bad swing or a wild swing, he backs out there, talks to himself, gets back in there, and that confidence is right with him.
I just thought that was interesting. That struck a nerve because Hal was talking a lot about that. You know, he said, my job as a hitting coach is not at all during the ball game to talk about hands and feet and hips. Not at all. There's too much going on out there with Ubaldo Jimenez for you to be worried or thinking about that. That pitch is high.
It's the attitude. You remember Mike Jorgensen?
Certainly.
The Cardinals released him because they said he couldn't hit, and then they signed him as a roving hitting report, a player.
Breaking ball pops it up to the right side. Todd Helton is there. Don't forget, every time a D-back hits a homer this season, it's a Fulton Holmes homer. They will donate $150 to the Youth Assistance Foundation.
Hitting coaches are not really supposed to be working with your hands or your feet during the game, and Howell is so right. It's all mental. That trip from the on-deck circle to home plate is really, really a long trip, and you better know what the situation is as you watch Howell make notes.
Jack's even taking it a step further as Adam LaRose takes a fastball high. He doesn't really say much about any of that, even when they're hitting in the cage on the field, batting practice on field. Now, if they want to tweak and they want to go down into the indoor cage and work and work and work and hands and feet and all the things we're speaking of, approach. But otherwise, the batting practice on the field, it's just about getting ready for the game in Howell's mind. Pitch is high, 3-0 the count.
Players like to do certain things in batting practice. I remember when Finley was here, he liked to hit the left field the first time, center field the second time, right field, and then just scatter it everywhere.
Jack was saying, I won't lean on the cage in every single swing. Hands back, keep your head still. Opening up your hips too early. Good swing. You know, there are some who will do that every single swing in batting practice. You'll be tired by the time the game starts.
Well, you'd also have a knot in your leg, your head, and your arm. I mean, do this, do that, do the other thing.
There's ball 4 and a walk to Adam LaRoche. So Adam is on. Adam with 7 home runs in the month of August, 27 hits, hitting .365, having a huge run. Matter of fact, those 7 homers time with Adam Dunn for the second highest total in the big leagues. Albert Pujols, #1. Mark Reynolds. He got Ubaldo Jimenez last year. As that fastball right in on his knuckles. It's our Chaz Roberts cool play. On July 5th. Up into the walkway there.
I think that Reynolds is one of the most underappreciated players I've ever been around. Everybody talks about, I don't say everybody, but a lot of people strikeouts. Forget that. That play he made last night on that ground ball saved the run. Nobody talks about that. He's trying to do and shorten up, but, you know, some of the things you hear sitting in the stands.
His defense is officially taken for granted. I mean, it truly is. Now, he has always, Joe and folks, he's always been able to, the slow roller, he has been very solid at charging that ball and throwing it. The off-balance throw, it was the standard play that he struggled with. Well, now he's corrected the standard play, so he's making about all of them.
He's a good defensive player, and he's got a pretty good idea of the strike zone. Sure, he strikes out a lot, but he's going to drive you close to 100 runs, 30 home runs. You can't look in the yellow pages and say, give me one like this.
No. They're not available. Or at least they won't deliver them to your house. Well, look at the run on that fastball, 3-2. Reynolds really was starting to piece things together, had made some adjustments with his approach, and then a couple of weeks ago he's hit square in the head, and he hasn't really come back from that with his approach. Right up above that left eyebrow. Bouncing ball. 1, 2, a double play. The 21st double play rolled up this year by Ubaldo Jimenez. Well, that's fair. Now he's adding groundouts to his game.
Over the Diamondbacks. Jody Jackson with you from the field, and here spring training site getting set to go in the Scottsdale area, and I have a couple of the architects that designed the spring training site that will be shared by the Diamondbacks and the Colorado Rockies with me tonight. Mo Stein to my right and Byron Chambers to my left with HKS. And first of all, Mo, I'll ask you, I know Derek Hall has talked a lot about how fan-friendly this is going to be, almost like a Disneyland. In what ways did you have to design it to make it that way?
Well, it's unlike any other spring training facility, or frankly any other baseball facility that's ever been done. I mean, we did a lot of special techniques, but by moving the stadium complex basically towards the center of the complex, bringing the clubhouses in tight to the stadium, creating a real condensed area, we were able to create an opportunity where the fan is immersed in baseball from the moment you approach the site. From the visual driving up or walking up, as you get out of your car, as you're walking through the practice fields where they're right there. You don't have to go look for baseball at this. Baseball's there, and you have multiple choices. You'll see guys in the field. You'll see guys taking batting practice. You'll be able to walk through the batting tunnels or the pitching mounds, watch your favorite players for hours if you want, or go to the stadium and watch a game, watch a B game, watch 2 games at the same time.
Well, it's great access. That's what people really want. And Byron, I know you worked on a number of sports facilities as well, including the Cowboy Stadium. What makes this really unique? And I know Mo just talked about how fan-friendly, but there are some other things as well that you've really added in and thought outside the box, so to speak, on.
Yeah, I think this project, unlike any other spring training facility, first, it's the first on Native American land. And so, we have a great client in the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. Second, we have 2 teams that have divergent kind of brand identities, and we've got to find a way to make all 3 entities happy. And so we've created a facility that represents not only the 2 teams, but the Indian community, and represents Arizona, I think, extremely well architecturally. I mean, I think it's the idea of blending the passion of baseball with the skill of design. And I think we're extremely excited about bringing people through the facility, immersing them in baseball, and just really, creating that wonder and, excitement that only baseball can bring, especially in springtime.
Guys, it's so exciting, and I was out there, I was telling you guys just about a month ago, and things have really even changed just since a month ago, right?
Every day is different. Every day we're making big progress. We only have 158 days left So every day is important to us. So 800 guys working on the job every single day right now. But as you drive by, of course, the fans love driving by. We get a lot of emails and phone calls. But every day is a great day out there, and the change is remarkable.
Well, the countdown is on, guys. 158 days, and the first 15,000 fans here to the ballpark got a spring training site replica as they came into Chase Field tonight. And Darren, I hear the press box is pretty nice too.
Good-looking ballpark as that one is booted by LaRoche and great speed. Dexter Fowler as he races on around. It's speed. It changed the ball game last night. There was an errant throw at speed that had LaRoche come up on that ball trying to hurry to the bag.
I'll tell you, speed will make you do it. You try to rush the play. Now that ball looks like it's going to be an easy one. He was going to backhand it, and he just missed it. I mean, he didn't get a glove on it, and that glove is big enough to sleep 7.
That is a big glove, but he came up. He was trying to head to the bag before he had the baseball. That's an error on Adam. And with one out, let's see how he will handle Seth Smith. Lowest ERAs amongst all rookie starters. And right there on that list with a minimum of 50 or more innings. Another errant play, but this one not an error. Just threw that one in the dirt.
If that would have been a good throw, it would have been a close call.
Snuck in there nicely. There are different ways to communicate running this play, correct?
Oh, absolutely. The one you learn first. When you get daylight between the shortstop or the second baseman and the base runner. As soon as you see daylight as a pitcher, wheel and turn. Just get the ball to the infielder. Don't worry about where it's going to be. Don't throw it in center field.
Change up, off balance, fly ball. Young is there, runs it down. Sets himself as he gets it back in. Fowler went back to the bag. He tagged up, but there are 2 outs. It's a funny thing. You have a hitter that's played the other way, but then you throw him something soft and he pulls it.
He thought he had a base hit. I'll tell you, Young is quite a center fielder. He was going against speed, as you mentioned, Darren. I thought he might try to score.
Yeah, Young really, you could see him throw his arms out to reverse course. He felt like he was racing the other way. Here's Troy Tulowitzki. Boy, pretty good pitch. That one is inside, though. 1-0 the count. Amica Insurance, the hit zone for Troy Tulowitzki. Red, obviously the hottest. He does the best work. Runner at third. Neither one of them called strike. Stays stubborn, 2-0. But Travis Wood with Cincinnati has a 2.51 ERA. Jaime Garcia with St. Louis at 2.58. Barry Enright is third in Major League Baseball with that 2.91. Change up. Tough pitch to keep fair.
So to keep that change-up fair, you really got to be looking for it. Just set your mind, and it's going to be a change-up, and if it's anything else, you just have to take it. Changing speeds. Spot the ball.
The 2-1. It's a funny thing. I would imagine a lot of our younger pitchers watching. You know, let's say Pony League, high school, thinking, man, he just hit a ball so hard, foul. You have to have the process that goes through your mind that says, I don't care, it's just a long strike. I did that intentionally. Is that right?
Absolutely. Some pitches that you swing at and hit that for foul, it's intended.
Breaking ball called a strike. 3-2 the count.
There's nothing you can do when you try to pull that ball and hit it foul.
Tulowitzki talking about the work that he does as a big fella at his position. 3-2. Another rocket shot foul on a fastball that was down and in.
Shortstops used to be guys that make sure they brought their glove to the ballpark. These guys now, they bring their glove, their bat, their shoes, their everything. Of course, that's why they're making $1 gazillion, too.
Is it up to $1 gazillion now?
At least.
I thought that's where it was headed.
Higher than Dow Jones average.
3-2. Dipped his shoulder underneath that when he's putting quite an at-bat on him. And just the sheer size of a guy like Troy Tulowitzki. 6 feet 4 inches tall, 220 pounds.
And he looks skinny.
I would imagine in the 40s or 50s weren't many shortstops. 6'4". That has 6'3".
We had a shortstop in St. Louis, Marty Marion, who was over 6 feet. But Roy McMillan, Eddie Miller, those kind of guys, they were not big guys.
The 3-2. Hanging around, really working hard now. Next pitch will be a 9-pitch at bat. Ernie Banks, was he a big guy?
Not really.
Strong.
Strong, very strong. And quick. Had quick hands with that bat. Oh, he could snap that bat.
And folks, mind you, I say was he. I meant as a ball player. We know we get to still see Ernie all the time. 3-2 with 2 outs. Pitch number 9. Breaking ball. He got inside his head. Tulowitzki arguing about that pitch a bit. Right down the middle.
As soon as I walked in, I say to him, "I saved you today, but don't get used to that." It was terrible. It was like, I mean, honestly, it was a bad day. So I didn't see him because I really wanted to tell him it was a terrible game. We weren't on the same page. He was in a different game. I was in a different game. I don't know who was in the different one, but we weren't on the same page. So I got a little bit really upset about that, and I think that was the whole reason of my game was kind of bad.
Well, the very honest post-game comments from Miguel Montero talking about Ian Kennedy, who pulled himself after 5 innings, telling Mel Stottlemyre Jr. that the team would be better off going to the bullpen at that point. And Miguel Montero talked about a bad night. Well, it was, of course, until his 2-run double tied the game in the 9th. But the big key is that he doesn't want it to happen again. It's so important for the pitcher and the catcher to be on the same page. And, Darren, I know you have some thoughts on what Miggy said and really what it says in a positive way about what's going on in the Diamondbacks clubhouse right now.
Yeah, that's a great get, Jody, is first of all and most importantly, and I really, I think, welcome Joe's thoughts more than anything as a catcher with his experiences. To me, what has gone on with this room, when I say room, that's what they casually call the locker room.
Right.
It's become more open, more honest, and that's one of the reasons why is that changeup is ruled and in time for the out. There's a comfort level of doing that. That's not personal. That's two guys that work together. And you used to have conversations with your pitchers that were exactly like that, correct?
Oh, yeah. We're cleaned up a little bit, too, because it can get pretty heated. Because, again, I'm a big believer, and I know I'm right. Other catchers talk about it. You suggest to the pitcher, but if he's not going to follow your suggestions and do it on his own and then try to blame you in one way or another, then that's why you have those confrontations. I mean, you're not in a popularity contest. You're really not.
And to have the comfort, to have the ability, there are times on certain teams, and it might have even happened with this team, where a player would have something to say about another player, whether it was performance, communication, things that will make the team better if they're brought up, as Gerardo Parra rolls that one out. In other words, if this is discussed, any subject like Montero's, the team gets better when it's discussed. They will go to the manager and say, well, this is what I thought about the player. The manager in turn will say, he's right across from you. Go talk to him yourself.
That's right. That's what you do. You don't involve the manager in everything. The next time that Montero catches Kennedy, I'll guarantee you they'll be on the same page. The argument will be forgotten, and we go from there.
I don't know. To me, it's a sign of health. It's a sign of a healthy room.
No question about it. I mean, you don't win on luck. You win on ability. And if a guy's not pitching up to his ability, then you got to say something. And I mean, you hear some insulting things. I mean, it's a joke, but I'd like to have $1 for every time somebody said, what do you know about hitting it? It's hard to hit the ball. That's the only thing you know about it. And well, maybe that's true, but at least I know what I'm doing back here. That's what you think, and it goes on and on. And sometimes people have to come between you. But it's healthy. It's healthy. It's constructive criticism.
That one is away. If you were watching, what was it, last weekend on White Sox TV, there was an altercation with the Detroit Tigers in the dugout. Pitcher, catcher. And as that one has popped up, Armando Galarraga, Avila, his catcher, Gerald Laird, his other catcher, getting in. Now, we're not saying that's what occurred in this situation with Montero. I think that's just Montero being really honest.
And he's that way. I mean, what you see is what you get. He doesn't make things up. And he makes himself understood. I mean, he's not going to, win a debate of any kind because he has trouble. He learned the language on his own. But when you're finished talking to him, you know exactly how he feels, and that's important. That's important. Don't give me a catcher who gives you a con job. You don't need that.
Well, that's not him.
No way.
He's chewing gum down there, Joe, for you.
Hey, listen, I had a long talk with him before the game tonight. That was one of the things I said. The only thing I really hate about you is that rotten tobacco that you chew. Get that out of there.
A little topper out to Troy Tulowitzki. See, that kind of honesty for Joe, that kind of honesty for Miguel. It's all healthy. Very healthy. A great cause. Visit healthwealthraffle.org. Without challenge, people cannot reach their higher selves. That is our key to the game, Joe Garagiola. Without challenge, people cannot reach their higher selves.
I got to tell you the truth. I was not in school that day.
Really?
What does it mean?
I think, you're challenged. You're facing last time Steven Strasburg, this time Ubaldo Jimenez, trying to reach the better Barry Enright, to grow. Very deep.
It is very deep.
By the way, that comes in on D-Backs Booth on Twitter. And Ethan sent that one in. I got to give the folks credit today. Almost like a proverb key to the game. Very deep thinking. Big swing popped up.
Now let me ask you something. You just read that, and I'm not making fun of it or anything.
No.
It's very studious or whatever. Did you understand that story I told you about Ernie Banks easier than that?
Yeah, I like that story.
Huh? We were talking between innings, but I said Ernie Banks was on a hitting streak. And one of the guys, I was on the Cubs at the time, obviously, and one of the guys said, Ernie, what do you think about when you're in that batter's box? You're on that streak. He said, I think about Lola Falana.
Lola Falana?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful singer.
For our younger listeners out there, she was a singer. Huh?
Singer, yeah. You have to qualify some of these names that I use, I know.
No, that's okay.
No, because you asked me if I knew Hoss Radburn.
Fly ball center field. So the play is made out there. So a great singer, Lola Falana, and Ernie used to just...
That's how he relaxed.
Clear his mind.
That's right. He didn't shoot for higher things or anything, just Lola Falana.
So Ernie Banks, when he was challenged, he thought of Lola Falana to reach his higher self.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shakespeare.
0-1 the count, Chris Iannetta. As he fires away, 1-1 the count. 1-0 the score. And by the way, here we are in the fourth inning. Here's Barry Enright. You might feel like he's been on the ropes a couple of times. There have been errors behind him. But then you look up, and here he is doing good work. I think he has reached a peaceful place, Barry Enright. Bottom line, I think he is now thinking of Lola Falana. There it is. Watching Ubaldo Jimenez work himself back into the Cy Young race. Jimenez with 17 wins. Why don't you text us, southwest.com, Ultimate Fan Experience. Of these four, who are the top guns in the Cy Young, of these four, pick one. A, B, C, or D. Jimenez, Halladay, Hudson, Wainwright, all having incredible seasons. This late in the season, it is not even close to clear cut, and I mean not even close. Because you can include the Padres' Matt Latos on that list as well. And you can include Josh Johnson, who was right there, many thought should have started the All-Star game. This is a fun year, isn't it, Joe, with regard to pitching?
Oh, man, is it ever.
One and two the count.
Hey, while I got a chance here, I want to tell you, I listened to the game last night. Gonzo did a great job. I thought Gonzo really had some great points.
Now, I know one of those points, our producer Gregson Frampton, who's doing the pregame and the postgame show, brought it back when he was talking about, just relaxing, getting in the box, Justin Upton.
And also, just hit the ball. Don't worry about the home run. Hello, when he said that, that was a good move.
The 1-2. The pitch is high. And by the way, because of the bobbleheads, $90,000 raised for the community and for charity last night.
I saw that list. Mission was on that list. That was great.
Out front of a changeup. So you find yourself looking for 98, and then you get 86. Anytime the D-back scores 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day.
This is about the time that the opposing bench will let him know that he's got a no-hitter going. I mean, the players are not superstitious. We're going to get you a no-hitter. What's his line drive? Oh, absolutely.
That pitch is high. Slider missing up.
Boy, I've never seen a more talented young player than this Upton. Patient.
Of course, the man on the mound did play no-hit baseball in Atlanta earlier this year, April 17th, when he threw a no-hitter at the Atlanta Braves. Boy, 2-0 lightning off those fingertips. 97, and it ran in. 2-1.
And he was ready to throw as soon as he got the ball from the catcher. He's not hesitating at all.
High drive, center field, going back, and it is foul. Still alive with a leap. It's over his head. He corners it up against that wall almost accidentally. Upton with the slap of the hands together, because that's his first career hit against Ubaldo Jimenez, and it feels good.
And he had a nice, even, compact swing. He didn't jerk his head. Watch his body. His head is still as it can be. There's a beautiful swing. Follow through. He knows he hit it well, and he's going to take off.
Almost took a leap a little bit too early there.
Yes, he did. If he doesn't pick that ball up barehanded, extra base.
And Justin was thinking about 3 the whole time. 0-1 the count to Kelly Johnson. That feels good. That feels good. First hit of the ball game. As that one is high. Amica Insurance, our hit zone for Kelly Johnson. And again for Upton, that snaps an 0-for-16 against him.
Now the red on that chart right there, that's where he gets the most hits, huh?
Yes.
Because I get asked that question almost every day, and I want the official word.
That's where he gets the most hits. There are times it will be adjusted, and it will be where he is pitched the most. There are times where it's total pitches seen. So he's pitched away, away, or in. How is he attacked?
Man, I just don't understand it. I'm like, well, I believe the Willie Mays theory. When they throw the ball, I hit it. When they hit it, I catch it. Amen, brother. Hope Willie's feeling good. Well, I'm losing a lot of them. Bobby Thompson's gone. Tough.
Have you spoken with Willie lately?
Not lately, no. Spring training, I rarely saw a game. We always sat in the clubhouse and told baseball stories.
Bouncing ball to the right side. In time for the out. So share with us a little bit about Bobby Thompson then.
Bobby Thompson was a funny kind of hitter. He was a last minute kind of a hitter, and even after he hit that ball, he didn't think it was that big a deal. 2 weeks after he did it, he was a humble man, and he hurt his leg. Was traded to Milwaukee. Tough out. I liked him a lot.
So in other words, the moment that has turned out to be one of the greatest in the game's history that he was the integral part of happened to a deserving man then.
Oh, no question about it. No, well, you say no question, but you don't know whether he deserved it or not, but you're glad that he got it.
There you go.
And you know when you get sick and you lose guys, I have my doctor, Dr. Zabransky's here, and Dee Dee was the lady that helped him. You really appreciate what a day, how important and valuable a day is. I just found out the other day at St. Joe's Hospital they're going to do a magazine piece. They operated on me for 6.5 hours. And when I first, Dr. Z, he said, yeah, I can do that operation. Full of confidence. He made a good pitcher. That confidence. Oh,
to the plate, coming home with time. A hard slider down and away. Upton took off. 1-1 the score.
And there was no way that Meta could shift that fast. Watch him. He was ready to move, but look how far out it is. He tried to knock it down. He overthrew that ball, and it really cost him.
Joe, to your point, you could see Iannetta have the natural reaction, and he's a good defensive catcher to turn that mid over for a moment and try and get out there. Realize, as you said, he couldn't. That one right into the catcher's mitt. Boy, a slider at the belt is strike 3, but a slider in the dirt ties this ball game up at 1 apiece. ball game again. 1-1 as we roll into the 5th inning. Jonathan Herrera to lead things off. Popped up to short his first time up as that fastball runs out of the zone from the right arm of Barry Enright.
Look how close Mark Reynolds is playing in to take away the bunt. He's really in.
Which tells you this is a young man with fabulous speed. So that is officially 3 guys in this lineup that can fly. Beautiful pitch inside corner 1 and 2.
If you just concentrate on watching Enright and just concentrate on how he moves the ball around, you'll see a pitcher.
That one he missed his spot, but he beat him with it. He was looking for something else.
We used to have a coach who'd come through all the time, say things like that. Thrower, yes. Pitcher, yes. Thrower, no. I mean, he'd always be changing. Hitter, no. Swinger, yes. One word. I mean, you'd hear that all the time.
So I ask you then, so far what you've seen from Enright. Thrower?
No, pitcher. Pitcher. Give me a guy who works quick like he does, moves the ball around.
2-2. Popped up. Drew and Reynolds will get together for the 2nd time in this ball game. Stephen Drew puts a pop-up in his glove, and there's nothing more exciting for a pitcher and a manager if you're Kirk Gibson than to see guys with speed like Herrera, Young, and Fowler popping the ball up in the air.
Oh, what a break, because if he's on base, you've got great speed and you got the pitcher hitting, he bunts, and the risk is always there. He'll go from first to third with that kind of speed.
Instead, base is clean, right down the middle, strike 1 to Ubaldo Jimenez.
Enright on a mound gets a sign, but he knows what he wants to throw before he even gets a sign. They're on the same page.
A little bit low, 1-1 the count. Ian Kennedy said, I didn't feel like that was the case last night. Felt like he failed himself as well, scuffled, but you know what? It ended in a victory. All's well that ends well. Mark Reynolds shuffles those feet and in time for the out. AT&T trivia question. See what you folks think about this one. Name the 5 Rockies pitchers with 500 or more strikeouts all time. I know when you woke up this morning you thought about that, Joe.
Yeah, he sure did.
2 outs. Eric Young takes a strike. A little bit of late movement to get to the corner there.
He got it, though. Watch how quickly, once he looks in for the side, he knows right now what he wants to throw.
You're exactly right. Let's go. Miss low. Can you feel a pitcher that's constantly indecisive, lacking confidence when they're catching?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Different tip-offs that they have. If they go to the rosin bag when they never did before, if they start to check the defense, if they start to rub up the ball, if they want a new ball, it's like they don't want to throw the ball. But Enright, give me the ball. I know what I want to do.
The 1-2 pitch to Young just missed away.
Whoa.
Now he threw it there with the intent of getting a chase.
Well, that's also one of those pitches that, as a hitter, you take and try to make it look like you knew it all along that it was outside.
He's going to throw him another fastball, trying to hit the inside. Missed his spot. It's driven into left center field. Well struck. Young tracking. Young's got it. That's still a speedster in the air. And Eli Jr. will take you every time popping up. 1-1 our score, the bottom half of inning number 5. Joe and I, along with Jody Jackson, glad to have you with us. And I know you've really been haranguing and just wringing your hands together trying to answer this trivia question. Well, if you said Estacio, Jennings, Francis, Jimenez, and Cook, well, go ahead and open up your drapes. You need to get out more. That one is a shot, and it's down the line. 1-1 the count. There's a beautiful world out there. Go and enjoy it.
That was cold.
That may be.
That was really icy.
Well, look, I mean, we love. That was, you know, they'll tell me when I'm terrible. That one has swung right through. That was Miguel Montero describing that question. He would say it was terrible.
Right to your face.
Oh, absolutely.
You gotta love honesty.
And so, honestly, that was a terrible question. 1-2 the count. Up and away, 2-2 the count. I did think, though, Mike Hampton might be on that list. He had some time with the Rockies.
Yes, he did.
Newest member of the Diamondbacks, if you've missed that, in the minor leagues, trying to resurrect his career. Valley resident. Did not offer. I don't know how that occurred. That's got to be a challenge. 3-2 the count. He walked him, Adam LaRoche, back in the second inning.
Here's where he's going to go to his best pitch, which is his fastball. Will he do it?
He went to it. LaRoche was on it. Broken bat, and he lines right to his counterpart, Todd Helton. So let's take a look at Quest high-speed internet high-speed pitch. Isn't it funny? And your coaches have told you that all along, haven't they, you young pitchers? It's not how hard you throw it, but where. Now both doing very big work tonight, but a difference in 7 miles an hour in their top pitches. Here's Mark Reynolds.
I think that 98, 95, and 91 is so overrated in many ways. And Enright is a guy that proves my point. Not that I needed him to do it. But, I mean, you listen to scouts. It's like one scout at Scottsdale Stadium, he said something like, they're only throwing 91 miles an hour. I mean, you know, I got 7 truck drivers that don't throw that hard. You know what the guy next time said? Give me the address and the name of the truck drivers. Seven of them threw that hard. It's where you spot it.
Well, you know, too, what Enright is, and it's the age-old balance for me as a scout or as an organization. He's a winner. Was in high school in Stockton, California. Was in college at Pepperdine. Was a winner all throughout the minor leagues. Now, he has major league stuff. There's not denying that. We're not sitting here, folks, telling you he throws 65 and he's lucky. He's a winner. And it's that balance of developing, and then when do you learn how to win as a young minor leaguer?
It stays with you forever.
Reynolds played on a backhand in time for the out. It doesn't matter, Joe, if it's your generation, my generation, or the one that's beyond us now, youngsters like these young top prospects I covered this past weekend in the high school All-American game. They go from these showcases, they play well, they throw in the 90s, they hit homers, they run fast, they go into the minor leagues to hone their skills. How much is winning discussed? I mean, that's an interesting topic for me.
It is. Because that's the name of the game. You got to get that W.
Well, here's the thing. When you get to the big leagues, even if it's not discussed much at any point, you have to do it here.
Absolutely. You can't fake it. You're either a winner or you're not.
Inside, 2-0 the count to Miguel Montero.
This guy's a fastball pitcher. Montero's in a good situation. Got to be looking fastball all the way and go for it.
He threw it right there in his hot zone, too. Out over the plate, driving it the other way. It was Miguel's big double in the 9th inning that tied the ball game. 82 pitches thrown here in the 5th inning by Jimenez. Two and two.
He just blew it right by him.
Coming in with 17 wins, an ERA of 2.59, and those numbers in a year like this, he is far and away the favorite to win the Cy Young. All he is in the discussion. And I mean that with all due respect to this young man, because he is a fabulous ace. But this is the year of the pitcher this year. Taking.
I tell you, you could hear that ball hit that mitt and pop way up here. And it's hard to do with the catcher's mitts they have now because they're like first basemen with gloves.
Miguel putting it at bat on him. We'll do it again. 3-2 the count.
Did you know if you put shoe polish on a glove, you could make it pop loud?
I did not know that. And pitchers love that.
Oh, general managers don't.
Slider. He swings right through it. 1, 2, 3. General managers love a pitcher like this, though.
Oh, yeah.
Part of that certainly. And by the way, speaking of catchers, Mickey's got himself a bobblehead day. Complete your 2010 bobblehead collection on Saturday, September 4th, when the Diamondbacks take on the Astros. The first 15,000 fans will get a Mickey bobblehead courtesy of Subway. 602-462-4794 for tickets, or log on to dbacks.com/giveaways. Mickey's got himself a bobblehead. Change up to start off Dexter Fowler, thinking he might find him overly aggressive. Top of the 6th inning. The Rockies have 2 hits. The Diamondbacks have 1. Fastball, 2-0 the count. See Montero there pointed his left shoulder as if to say, you're flying open a little bit on me. Stay closed. Re-emphasizing it with that snap of the wrist. 3-0 the count.
He's only walked 1 so far.
Just babies that one in there right down the middle.
Here's the tough pitch right here.
A two-seam fastball, a little bit of run to it. Almost looked like he dropped down a little bit, whether he meant to or not.
He threw it for a strike, and that's the important thing.
The 3-2. Fouled it off.
You know, sometimes you get in a game like this, and there's a lot of base on balls. It really wants to put you to sleep. But not this game. This game is exciting. Both clubs, great pitching. And that's why we're tied.
3-2. Fouls that one off. By the way, Enright again goes 5 innings, gives up 3 runs or less so far. And obviously, if that total stays, he is the only active pitcher in all of the big leagues to start his career now with 10 consecutive starts, 5+, 3 or less. A little number. Reynolds got to hurry with Fowler running. He does, and in time for the out. Actually made it look quite easy, did Mark Reynolds. He wasn't cheating in too much.
No, he wasn't. Well, he gets the ground ball when he needs it, and he knows he's got good defense behind him.
So now Seth Smith. And Barry Enright working right now. And this is his debut in the major leagues. Talk about the 10 starts now with an ERA of 2.81. That's to begin his major league career.
He's falling behind the hitters, though. That's not good.
73 pitches. See if he can pull himself together. 3-0 the count. This is twice now, back-to-back hitters, a 3-0 count.
And that pressure builds up. He's got to come in with strikes now because you don't want to give out those gift certificates. Base on balls, man. It'll kill you.
Right back over the outside corner. The 3-1. A little topper off the mound. Mickey said, "I've got it," and he does. And Barry doing a fine job peeling right out of there. He has an ability, Enright, to slow the game down. Meantime, Mickey can just flat out play.
That was a great move that he made. Looks like he was going to pick it up. Just watch him. Here he comes. He's going to pick it up, and then he's going to get out of the way. He made a right turn. Look at Miggy bust out there. He's quick.
He loves making that play. Slow curveball, strike one.
The way he makes it, you can see why he loves it. I've had hitters tell me when they do that, say, "How could you play me to pull?"
0-1 the count to Tulowitzki. Just got a piece of it, so he went curveball, then slider, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, now he can work with his fastball to put it where he wants to. He's in control, Enright is. See what he does. Good hitter, good pitcher, tie ball game. It's all here.
For that fastball. Tulowitzki hustles on around past the diving Mark Reynolds. Love to see on replay where that one ended up on no balls and 2 strikes.
He wanted to get that ball in and push him back. I guarantee you. He knows he made a mistake and he's going to pay for it. Watch the pitch. Right in the wheelhouse, so they say.
Foxmo slowing it down. Dave Edwards is out, along with Mel Stottlemyre, pitching coach. Well, let's hope he's physically okay. Being visited by Bob Davidson. That keeps this visit only of a medical nature. Otherwise, you're charged with a visit to the mound.
Seems to be all right.
Usually Dave just doesn't like to trot out for no reason. They must have seen something. Either that or something was discussed that we didn't see in the dugout before the inning.
I'm just guessing. I have no idea, but maybe the start of a blister.
Could be. A lot of times when we don't see any reaction, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The guys in the truck are looking frontwards and back at all the video. They don't see anything.
No.
Just a regular delivery. Fastball. Wow. 1-0 the count.
Had to be inside, huh?
1-1 the score. Beautiful pitch over the inside corner. We're looking, we're searching for everything. This is the early play when, well, the one he peeled out on.
He's holding that right hand a little awkwardly.
The 1-1. With a slider and he rockets it foul. So now 1-2 the count. 83 pitches. Enright gets back on the mound. Go ahead run out there at second base. Helton waits on deck. Pops that one up into the seats. It goes where it's a souvenir. Again, we have ISO'd Enright. We're just looking for what might have brought Dave Edwards out. Couple of shrugs of the shoulder, but yeah, a couple of times. But that's it. Well, I wish you played now, Joe. They'd be checking on you, looking out for you. Anytime you twitched your neck. The 1-2. We'll do it again. 1-2 the count.
I'll tell you, if you're the star hitter or the star pitcher and you get a little twinge of some kind, here comes the two trainers, the manager, the coach, one of the owners. But if you're just a mongrel just making the club, you can get hit and you're really hurting. And you're looking around hoping somebody would come out, maybe friends of the family. It doesn't happen. There is a system. I remember Musial pinch hitting one time, just getting over an appendicitis operation. He could hit, though.
Oh, yeah. One and two the count. That one bounces in there from Enright. 2-2.
Eddie Dyer was the manager, wanted a pinch hitter, and Stan was sitting there looking green and everything else. And Dyer walked by the bench. He walked past Peanuts Lowry, he walked past me, and he said to Stan, "Can you hit?" He said, "I think so." He walked up and he hit a home run. I said to Peanuts, "The problem is we're healthy."
2-2 the count. Never crossed his mind, did it?
No.
High pop right side. Well, most importantly, let's hope that Barry Enright is okay, because his work is not okay. His work is fabulous. with the work he has done, worth keeping an eye on tonight. He has again been incredible. 6 innings, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Jimenez right there with him. 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And Justin Upton without a hit in 16 career at-bats against Ubaldo Jimenez. Off the wall for a double. Would eventually come around and score on that wild pitch. And that's where we stand. Jack in the Box Inc. outside of the box. And Enright, you know someone was going to come and speak with him, and so we poked our nose in that dugout as soon as it occurred. And it looked more like a wardrobe malfunction, if you will. We'll slow it down as much as we can, as if to say, when they came and saw him right away, "Oh, you okay?" Something with my shirt. Watch him pull up the shirt. Something didn't feel right with my shirt. Which is good news, but I'm still waiting for Joe's comment. Because I saw it in the crock pot over there cooking. 1-2 the count.
I'm just saying, here's a guy pitching 1-1, and it's his shirt, so they must have caught a sale somewhere, you know? Give it to the Rook. Rook will wear it. He'll think it's a good shirt.
1-2 the count. It's not his job to worry about that. If he sees something that doesn't look right and shrugging the shoulders and pulling at the arm, well, that'll have your trainer out there checking.
If he was losing 9-1, they'd have to check it in the clubhouse.
That's exactly right.
Not necessarily the Diamondbacks clubhouse.
Fastball, strike 3. Parra is 0 for 2 in this ball game. Want to invite you to find out more and play Kachinko when you come on out to the ballpark. It's the interactive kiosk near section 111 at Chase Field. It is brought to you by our good friends and partners with Gila River Casinos. Here's Barry. 1-0. You can see he can handle the bat. Has 6 hits and 19 at-bats this year. Well, make it 7. Barry Enright with a single. A 93-mile-an-hour fastball. He is now 7 for 20 in the major leagues.
And he missed an extra base hit by a matter of inches. I mean, that was a great play in the outfield by Seth Smith. He swings that bat well.
Hit in the minor leagues and hit a lot. Didn't hit at all at Pepperdine. Was a big winner on their all-time wins list, but didn't do much hitting there, as that one misses high and away. But it's interesting, his perspective. He says, Joe, as you see this approach, he says he learned about pitching inside. It really clicked in his head when he got in the batter's box and was pitched inside. He realized that's when I understood, if I'm pitched inside, not to hit, but back me off a little bit, how far away that outside corner looks. He said, I was told by my minor league instructors, it clicked when I hit.
Makes sense.
But he thinks the game through, doesn't he? I mean, you can just sense
something like that. Yeah, absolutely. All those good pitchers, boy, they know. They'll give you the middle of the plate because they never throw it there.
Steven with a changeup, high pop, long run, and he's got it.
You can't be dumb and be a pitcher. You just can't. You've got to think. You know the amazing thing about Jimenez, after he made the wild pitch that tied the score, it really did not upset him. A lot of pitchers would have really lost it and said, you know, why did I do that? And then overthrow or do something. He just went right back to his routine.
Justin Upton drives it in left field. Out of here! A Fulton Homes homer, $150 to the Youth Assistance Foundation. Justin Upton had never gotten a hit against Ubaldo Jimenez in his career. He was held out of the lineup instead of facing Jimenez earlier this year. He just homered.
Perfect control of his body in the swing. Great follow through. Balance was terrific. He had an idea.
0-2 the count, by the way, for Upton. A homerless streak snapped at 111 at bats. His last homer, July 20th against R.A. Dickey, the knuckleballer.
Tremendous talent. You just have to be patient. He's going to do some things that'll have you talking to yourself, but he's got tremendous talent.
Ellie Johnson goes up the ladder and chases down. But for just the 8th time this year, the 8th time, a home run against Ubaldo Jimenez on a slider. Upton getting ready to say to all of his teammates, hop on my back. Ball is a strike. Hyundai now the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. He's been pretty efficient, not over-swinging at all.
Boy, you can dissect it and look at his hips and look at his hands and look at his eyes, his ears, or whatever. But it's when he finishes up with that bat, that follow-through for me. I like him for a lot of reasons. Not only his ability, I like him chewing bubble gum.
Mm-hmm.
Those bubbles, nice. That's what young kids ought to emulate that.
Changeup locked up Todd Helton, 1-2 the count. That pitch looked like it took a day and a half to get to the plate.
Well, that's because his shirt's loose.
That's true. They did loosen up that shirt.
That's right. Makes a difference.
The 1-2. Fastball is high. He doesn't chase.
He was wearing a small. He went to a medium.
Did he? See, this is the kind of analysis that we bring you in for.
That's
right.
That's why you get the big bucks.
2-2 the count. A little nubber on a fastball. We'll do it one more time. So we talked with Peter Woodfork, assistant general manager, before the game about the minor leagues and the prospects coming up. Diamondbacks have their top 10 prospects. As that one is in, and they're all talented young men and excited to have some of these guys. Baseball America puts out a book to start every season. There's Peter. And they have the top 30 in every organization. And it's a great little guide if you follow the game. The 3-2 pitch to Helton. Down the line, that one goes, and it's a foul ball. So anyway, I grabbed my 2010 book. It came out right before spring training started. Well, let's see, where's Barry Enright in here? He was only in Double-A. Not in the top 30. Not in the top 30. Tell Todd Helton that he's not in the top 30.
He won't believe you.
And that's not at all a knock on Baseball America. They do a great job. They speak of talent. Their research is second to none. I think it speaks a little bit more to the man that is Barry Enright and what he's accomplished.
I tell you, if Helton would have hit that ball, he'd have had a handful of toothpicks. It was right in tight. Off the handle.
Oh, and 1 the count. And by the way, we can't assume people watch all the time, or maybe you've been busy. This young man came from Double-A, not Triple-A. Just a ho-hum guy, not qualified enough to be in the prospect book, and down there in Double-A.
Did he impress you the first time you saw him in spring training?
Yes, he pitched in a game here against the Cubs in a warm-up game. You know, when they play a spring training game in the big ballpark to make sure everything works. Had one of those against the Cubs, you bet. And it was the same kind of impressive that we've seen every single time, Joe. That's a 2-1 to Ionetta. It was simple. Wow, not, ooh, look at that fastball. Wow, what a slider. It's, my goodness, where'd the time go? He's only given up 1 run again.
He's been around that plate in and out. Even when he goes 3-0, he comes back with at least 4 strike pitches.
Pitch number 100 is chopped foul.
Whoa.
Mike Galloway hanging in there, our Golden Glover down the line. Down to a knee. Into right field, Justin Upton is there, and he makes the play for the out. So 100 pitches used to be, last half decade or so, that was the magic number. People would be on alert.
Second baseman Jonathan Herrera.
Pitches are up, Joe. There's an article in the Wall Street Journal. We were talking about it before the game. Finally, pitchers have raised their average of pitches per game.
It's about time. I mean, when you stop to think that guys that complete games, complete games have gone the way of dirt. I say it all the time. It's become obsolete. You get to about 100 pitchers, you're looking in the bullpen.
According to this article in the Wall Street Journal, there are 58 everyday starters averaging at least 100 pitches per game. That number back in 08, 37. So it's 21 pitchers higher. As that one is low. A difference of 21 pitchers. That's 4 full starting rotations.
Yeah.
Two and 1 to count. Rodrigo Lopez. Joe Saunders looking on as Enright tries to complete the 7th inning. He lost him. There's ball 4. Jimenez looks back to the dugout, and there may be a call made. It is. It's former Diamondback Carlos Gonzalez, who banged up that knee a bit in a collision with a wall at Dodger Stadium. He is having an incredible season.
Makes you wonder if he kind of did that on purpose to make sure you get a pinch hitter.
Well, that'd give him a lot of credit, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
Kirk Gibson is going to
make his move.
You bet.
Boy, we got one of those games. Brains are spilling all over the field.
Another fabulous outing for Barry Enright, the pride of Stockton, California, and Pepperdine. I tell you, he is worth every bit of this ovation. And he's given himself the business, but Barry Enright is in business. 6 2/3, 1 run allowed. Again, he has started his career with regard to 3 earned runs or less, 5 or more innings amongst all active pitchers, better than anyone. 10 times he's done it now. Jordan Norberto goes to work. He is brought on, simply put, because he's a left-handed pitcher out in that bullpen. Carlos Gonzalez, the left-handed hitter. Slider is outside, a career high in hits and homers and RBIs for Gonzalez, hitting .385 since July 28th. But you got to find the strike zone. 2-0 the count.
Boy, the more I see situations like this, I think they ought to have a stat that has SC. Scary moment. And that's where he's coming in.
It was a scary moment for this talented young outfielder in LA. And that knee banged into the wall. It's a nice play, though.
Man, he hit it hard.
Part of a stable of Diamondbacks young players that were shipped to Oakland in exchange for Dan Herron, and then again was traded for Matt Holliday. Two and two the count. He talks pitching, he thinks pitching. Now he's watching someone else do the pitching. And that's the hardest place for a pitcher to be. The 2-2. 3-2 high with it.
Big pitch here. 3-2, 2 outs. Runners are going to go as soon as he sees the first move. LaRoe's playing behind him.
Here he goes. Here it comes. High with the breaking ball. That's ball 4. So a couple of walks in this inning have made things really interesting. And now Eric Young Jr. And some activity, pinch running. Esmiel Rogers, yesterday's starting pitcher. And Kirk Gibson is coming on out. And he'll take the ball from Norberto, who I think he wasn't quite ready for him to walk away just yet.
No.
We'll explain what that means in a moment. Gibson made a change. In no way did he feel like Norberto showed him up, flipping the baseball in there. He just had some things to say, and I don't think he was done talking. I think that's the key. Hold on now, I'm not done talking. All right, now I'm done.
He backed him up a step.
He certainly did. Again, it wasn't as if he was showing up, but he wanted to finish his thought. Esperling Vasquez, the speedy and dangerous Eric Young. Fastball is high, 1-0. Got to find the strike zone, gentlemen. Reynolds has to play in at third on the cut of the grass. The bullpen, the reason the Diamondbacks won last night, and then the timely hits to follow. There's the strike. That's the kind of defense speed sets up.
They're pretty much straight away, not too deep.
Switch hitter, batting from the left side. Good fastball, 1-2 the count. Last night's bullpen, 5 innings, just 2 hits allowed after really struggling in the Red Series, and the pen did not allow a run.
Boy, don't fool with him. Go get him. Go get him right now. Don't be setting up pitches.
He didn't, did he?
That's the way. I mean, it's a 3-1 ball game. You got the time runs on base, lead run in the batter's box. You don't have the luxury, I don't think, of setting up a pitch.
Lefty, sorry, Joe.
No, I was just to say, wind up and fire your best pitch.
And here he goes. He did. He went right after him. You asked for it, you got it. He picked up his mate. Left-handed hitters hitless in their last 10 at-bats against Vasquez with 6 strikeouts now. He didn't set anything up.
The swing, put the ball in play, got a base hit, set up the game-winning score. Tonight, power pitcher on the mound. Shorten your swing, let him supply the power, double, home run. He's starting to sink in. He's starting to get it. Sometimes you just got to cut down your swing and let the situation dictate your at-bat.
Read and react. Precisely. Just what I have to do with him night after night. Darren Sutton, Joe Garagiola, back to you.
Good stuff. Look forward to talking ball with you guys again.
Read and react. How about that one, huh? I like that.
I like that too.
So did Justin.
There are times, I think, when you either over-prepare or overthink, and sometimes the two go hand in hand. Manny Corpus, former closer for these Rockies. Where the brain locks the entire body up, and you can't read and react. I don't know, Joe. I listen to that. To me, I hear read and react. I think you're a good athlete. Use your athletic ability.
If God gave it to you, use it, or you lose it.
The 2-1. There's that sink from Corpus. Lowered his arm angle to keep that sink. The sinker straightened out about a year ago. Velocity's down just a bit, so the arm angle looks a little bit lower. The 2-2. Now that slider, you can't argue with that. Nasty. Young is done. 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. That's a closer's caliber slider right there.
In a great spot.
By the way, 37,631 on hand tonight, and more than 100 groups represented. Over the next couple of innings, I'll mention a handful. But a nice job by you fans tonight, making your way down en masse, and it's good to have you here. There's that slider again in a good spot. Oh, 2.
That ball really busted over that inside corner, didn't it?
He always had a lot of movement. Just seems like he's lowered his arm angle to get that movement now. That one is inside. 1-2 the count. It was second annual D-backs band night tonight. 13 bands performing, local high school bands. To me, there's nothing better than that sound.
How about the playing of the national anthem by those youngsters?
Beautiful. That one is a sinker. It dives low. Buckeye Union High, Cactus High, as Aaron Heilman warms in the pen. Desert Mountain, Loeb High School, R.S. Kelly High School, Marcos Deniza. Mountain Ridge. Went around. There's that slider again. There's strike 3. Now, don't tell this man that he is taking a step back, because this slider is A+ stuff this inning.
It's alive. It is alive. How about that haircut? Huh. I'd love to have one like that, man. Oh, boy. Where you get them?
Mark Reynolds takes a pitch that is low. 1-0 the count.
How about another shot at that guy? That's it. Look at that, man. All right. My kind of guy.
Reynolds, fly ball center field. He dumped it in there. Corpus giving himself a hard time. There's a base runner. So the Rally Mohawk gets things started with 2 outs in the 7th.
Tell you, I cracked Jack Crew, boy, between Lola Falana and the Mohawk job here. I mean, entertainment, baseball.
He's a baseball fan, too. Look at him.
That's right. How does he sleep at night?
He might get some of that hairspray out of his hair and relax a little bit.
Hairspray.
Let's take a look at what's going on in our State Farm out-of-town scoreboard. St. Louis, too much for San Francisco. Tim Lincecum with the loss. Milwaukee beating San Diego 6-5 at Miller Park. San Diego still rolling. And Washington hammering Philadelphia. Steven Strasburg leaving the game with an injury. Get some background on exactly what's going on there. So that means that Barry Enright, we're about to have a move. Let's see, face Strasburg, Jimenez. That means Lincecum pitched tonight. San Francisco has an off day this week, so he gets Tim Lincecum. Gets all the easy assignments.
How'd you figure that out?
It's a little bit of discussion. We might have actually talked about it on the drive-in today. Corpus is done. The call to the bullpen has been made. This big left-hander, folks, are going to like him.
For the Kids Change the Game program, which gives children of all ages the opportunity to make a difference in their community by donating.
Glad to have you back at the ballpark. Next year's All-Star game held right here at Chase Field. Guarantee priority now for your All-Star game seats by purchasing 2011 D-backs season tickets. Call today, 602-462-4794. Find out more at dbacks.com/ASG. Left-hander goes to work. Big, tall left-hander, just his third appearance in the major leagues. Matt Reynolds. And a lot of that. He's done a lot of that in the minor leagues. Randy Flores let go, having a good year, but ready to clear some space for this big fella. Out of Austin Peay University in Tennessee. 20th round pick in 07. Heck, even he made this prospect book that Barry Enright wasn't good enough to make.
Is that right?
Yeah, and deservedly so. Reynolds a good, talented pitcher.
Apparently with that big curveball, that first pitch he made. There it is again. Well, that's going to make a lot of broadcasters from baseball players. I'd come right back with it.
The 1-2. Instead, he fires it on over. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3-1 the score. That one is lifted up into the seats. By the way, we showed you that out-of-town scoreboard a moment ago. Steven Strasburg, he left the ball game with an apparent wrist injury. So it wasn't hit by a ball, but after throwing a pitch, was grabbing at his wrist. So they got him right out of there. Stay tuned. Hit him. No intent, not at all. It's just a young pitcher trying to do too much. I don't know what hurts worse, getting hit or having to face that curveball again.
I think he'd take a chance on getting hit.
So now Gerardo Parra. As we mentioned, more than 100 groups here tonight. APS Palo Verde, Arizona Beagle Rescue, Arizona Emergency Services Association, Cactus High School Band, just to name a few. Parra tonight is grounded out and struck out looking. One and 0 the count on a breaking ball that stays high.
Boy, that was the original high curveball, wasn't it?
That one just missed.
Didn't break. Neither one of those broke nearly as much as that first one he threw. That first one he threw was a big bad bender, all right.
And he was free and easy in his outing the other night against the Diamondbacks. Sometimes a little bit of adversity, he's got to push through it for the first time in the big leagues. That's the way to push through it, a good fastball. 2-1. A run on 3 hits and no errors for the Rockies. They have stranded 6. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the Diamondbacks. They haven't stranded anyone. Hoping not to now. Lifted down the line. Young into the corner. Fine play. In foul territory as he bangs into that wall. Barry Enright, the story tonight. And he's got a little bit of a mohawk going. There you are, Joe. Oh, boy. That's great.
That's a big leaguer, that one.
Miller Lite, what's brewing? Jody Jackson with you. Let's take a look ahead. Of course, tomorrow we'll wrap up this Rocky series. Monday, a travel day to San Diego for the Diamondbacks. After 3 games with the Padres, a weekend series with San Fran coming up. And as of yesterday, 30 of the final 40 games against the division. And Barry Enright has had some marquee matchups already. A game against Tim Lincecum where he gave up just 2 runs. A game against Steven Strasburg gave up 3. And then, of course, tonight against Jimenez gave up 1 run. It appears he will line up once again against Tim Lincecum. And guys, Kirk Gibson spoke about this and addressed the matchups Enright has been thrown into as a rookie and said he likes it. It speaks to his competitiveness.
Yeah, good stuff, Jody, and it certainly does. There's a strike from Heilman over the inside. Because you know, Joe, without challenge, people cannot reach their higher selves.
That's right. Yogi Berra said that in grade school.
Idiot. 1-2 the count. The other part of the challenge tonight, speaking of challenges, that right fielder for the Diamondbacks, Justin Upton. A couple of times this year when Jimenez has been on the mound, he has watched. Not only did he start, he batted second against him. Hitless in 15 at-bats coming in. Into center field, Chris Young tracking. Young is there. Dexter Fowler is erased on a line out. He is 0 for 4 in the ballgame. Against Aaron Heilman, 1 out. Seth Smith, don't forget, shop online at dbacks.com. Browse from the largest selection of t-shirts, hats, jerseys, and more. Visit the official online shop, dbacks.com. Smith, strike one. Like DJ Carrasco on those shirts. He's from Safford, Arizona. I'm thinking those were some friends of his, the Diamondbacks reliever. And the fact that that gentleman invested at one point in a Pirates hat, Carrasco's old team. I wished he would have been just a little bit more patient. 2-1 the count. One of your old teams.
You can say that about a lot of teams.
All right. Change of pace. 2-2.
You get traded, boy. I tell you, it's something. The first one is a little bit of a shocker, then you get used to it. I mean, for a while, I thought I was modeling uniforms. How does this uniform look? I don't care. Whoa!
Outside corner with a fastball. Strike three. Went soft and then hard.
You know, when he comes set, I can't help but think of the late Dick Hauser, managed Kansas City. He always talked about pitchers with fighter pilot eyes. Watch him. He's got those fighter pilot eyes.
One and 0 the count.
A lot of guys, they look at the catcher, get a sign, and that's it. But look at him.
Went back to the slider. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's a great thing about baseball. You can sit up here and call pitches whether you're right or wrong. What's the difference? I'd call for another slider. He shook him off. It must be position. Another one. New pitch.
He did. He shook him off twice.
Usually the first shake off is position. He doesn't want to throw it where the catcher's signaling. The second one, that's a pitch. Used to be anyway.
So the 2-1. A slider. 2-2 the count.
I think Mr. Tulowitzki was looking for the fastball that time because that was right down the middle. Listen to the crowd.
Trying to get Aaron back in the dugout. The 2-2. Down ball, LaRoche is there. Lyle recovers. Got him. Joe and I glad to have you back at the ballpark. Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. They lead it by a score of 3-1. And join us again tomorrow as same two teams go toe-to-toe. Excited to see every time Daniel Hudson takes the mound and working right behind Barry Enright. It's been a duo that's fun to watch back-to-back. Yoris Chassin takes the mound. Well, the Rockies will have all the action for you. As Bobby Crosby is called upon to pinch hit. The veteran out of Long Beach State University. Former #1 pick back in 01 of the A's. Rafael Betancourt, right-hander, goes to work. Bobby 2 for 11 as a member of the Diamondbacks. Came over in the Chris Snyder trade to Pittsburgh. As he takes a strike over the outside corner. Hard thrower, good arm, and ERA just over 4. Opponents hit just 250, a tick below against Betancourt. Bobby didn't mean to. A check swing, and it's a foul ball. 0-2 the count.
Did you see the ratio of base on balls against the strikeout? Incredible number. I saw 61 and 5. 5 base on balls. So you're going to have to hit your way on.
You talk about a good ratio. How about 12-1 strikeout to walk? 61 and 5. The 0-2. He's not going to walk you, and that is strike 3. Crosby goes down on strikes. That ratio, by the way, of now 62-5 is the very best amongst all Major League Baseball relievers.
I can imagine.
Here's Stephen Drew.
No defense against the walk. Man, I heard that preached to me till I could hear it in my sleep.
Stephen batting in the leadoff spot is 0 for 3 tonight. The City of Phoenix Aviation Department is here. The Knights of Columbus. The Miracle League of Arizona. Phoenix Job Corps is here. U.S. Airways Cactus Club, Waste Management amongst the more than 100 groups on hand tonight. Great job in the community. Great job. Our group sales department as well. That one is nubbed foul. And it looks like Juan Gutierrez is throwing down there. Now he walks off the mound. We'll see what, in fact, if we will see him in the 9th inning.
Think maybe he's got a tight shirt?
He might be going to change his shirt.
Oh, okay.
The 1-1 to Drew. It's a good fastball, and it's around the plate. 1-2 the count.
Man, this guy's really fidgety, though, isn't he?
Yes, he needs to be on that list we were talking about earlier of the slowest workers. Fidgety and deliberate. Well, you look at him come set. It does. It looks like when he comes set about 5 times.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's grabbing everything. It's like he slept on a lumpy bed or something.
The 2-2.
Whoa.
A breaking ball. Drew goes down on strikes. So now Justin Upton. We'll take a look at Foxwell again. The Diamondbacks trying to win for the 12th time since July 30th. The Twins, the Braves, the Reds, the Phillies, and Padres, the only teams with more wins in that brief period of time. But when you've struggled all year long, you'll take a good couple of weeks. Oh, and 1 the count.
He just comes quick with that bat. I mean, he's relaxed, and then all of a sudden, shoom, here it comes.
You were talking about his follow through earlier. It almost looks incomplete. I mean, a lot of guys will wrap that bat all the way around their body. He just stays strong. A high finish.
Watch his stance when he gets that bat over near his shoulder, waiting for the pitch. Now, he's ready. Man, that was a perfect pitch.
Upton took a peek out there as if to say, I don't know about that. Didn't say anything. 0-2 the count. Three hits for the Rockies, 4 for the Diamondbacks. Rockies have stranded 6, Arizona a pair. The 0-2. Doesn't chase. 1-2 the count. I just said in the truck that was 29 seconds between pitches.
29 seconds. Well, he had to get his shirt and his hat and everything. The old Bob Hope line. He can thread a sewing machine while it's running.
Now that's fidgety. Breaking ball is away.
Watch him. Held. Kicks the third, hat. Wipes it. Up. Hit. Hey.
Hasn't stopped yet. Hasn't even gotten the sign yet.
No.
I'm set 3 or 4 times. Three and 2 the count.
Very patient. Very patient, Justin Upton. It's going to be a fastball against a fastball hitter.
The 3-2. Low. How about that at bat?
That was a very good at bat, very patient. It's close.
And now Kelly Johnson. Johnson tonight grounded out to second a couple of times and fly to center field. Loves hitting here at home. 316 at home, 244 away from Chase. Let's see how he can hang in there with the very deliberate right-hander.
Doing everything. Put that move to music.
Fires that one on over. Now, why don't we all watch together as he comes all the way and completely set to see as he almost looked like he stopped 2 and 3 times with no one on. He never came set that time before he fired to first. And you may ask, why isn't that a balk? Because he does the same thing every time. There is no attempt to deceive the runner when he comes set.
This guy's funny.
He may be deceiving his catcher as long as this takes, and his infielders. That's a great shot in the background of Stewart kicking at dirt. Stewart looking in the seats. Now he's going to, the 1-0. Breaking ball. Look at this. Yeah, obviously there's no deception at all. I mean, a huge stolen base. He ignored him.
He looked over there to see if he was still there, like maybe he'd gone home or something, and then he didn't even give him another look. Was that famous defensive interference or whatever?
Oh, no, that's a stolen base.
Stolen base. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
No, no defensive indifference. Not tonight, Joe.
Oh, man, I hate that.
Not on our watch.
That's good.
1-1 the count. That's a stolen base for Upton. That's 14 for Justin. There's your RBI. Any Texas leaguer will do. The 1-1. And they talk a lot about the closer for the Red Sox, Jonathan Papelbon, in the same vein with regard to the time he takes, the walk around the mound before he even looks in to get a sign. Betancourt in that territory.
He's a candidate, all right.
1-2 the count. Hold on now, he'll get the sign. There he goes.
Shook one off. Stared the other one down.
The 1-2. He can say, more than anything, I may do it in a different way, but look up there. There's a 0 on the board again. Now that's an easy decision tonight. Barry Enright. Joe, he is a guy that came of age as a teenager at home when he lost his father. He has immediately come of age in the major leagues as a pitcher. And he is fun to watch. Justin Upton, his mate and his support offensively tonight. His challenge in this ball game, at least, was facing a guy who he had never hit at all.
Well, that all changed tonight, no question about it. He was in the batter's box with confidence, and he swung with confidence, and he ended up with big base hits.
Last night the story was the bullpen. Tonight the story is the bullpen. We're here, and you're not. There needs to be a new advertising campaign. Diamondbacks baseball. We're here and you're not. Gutierrez is on. On to pitch the 9th inning. Looking for his 4th save of the year. Aaron Heilman had held left-handers to just a .234 clip. It's a higher batting average against Gutierrez at .319. So let's see if he is up to the challenge. Ian Stewart to start. Right down the middle, strike one.
Boy, it's very seldom that relief pitcher comes in and doesn't throw a fastball on the first pitch. Get ahead of the hitter.
Goes in there, nothing wrong with that. That was something, I think, when Gutierrez had that run where he struggled like it was nobody's business. Fortunate that he was able to stay here in the big leagues. He didn't come in much. Guys are really comfortable. So not a bad pitch at all. Not that far in. Maybe that's why you might get tentative if you hit guys. So Todd Helton now against Gutierrez. Ouch.
This guy's a first ball hitter. You got to watch him. Boy, he got drilled pretty good.
Juan's last 3 appearances, he has been unscored upon. And bigger picture. In his last 7 appearances, his ERA is 1.5. Pretty good pitch, but it's Helton hitting, so it's called low. 1-0 the count to Todd. Singled, flied out, and struck you. Two and oh the count. Tim Cheetah says when they appeal. A little nubber. There's one. And that's all they get.
Was not a good throw by Gutierrez. Almost like he threw a sinker over there. If he throws that ball letter high, they got a double play, and he knows it. Got to hope that it doesn't upset him. Well, he's lucky to make that play and get that out.
He left his shortstop really hanging out to dry as well. Got to be an empty feeling as that one is a high strike. Goodness, Iannetta wondering where that one was. Got to be an empty feeling knowing that a runner's bearing down on you, reaching for the baseball.
Right.
Hoping to pick it up.
And hope he doesn't hitch and staple you to the left field wall.
The 0-1. Breaking ball, 0-2.
That's a beauty.
Well, he's come right back.
He has. He's still taking charge, which is good.
Last 6 innings, 1 hit allowed, 1 run, an earned run. The 0-2. Bouncing ball. It's a foul ball past Rich Dower in the third base box.
Looked like he took something off that curveball. It wasn't that snapper.
We've been seeing him vary it a bit. He'll throw what looks more like a slider, harder, as you said, and then a slower breaking ball as well. And why not? And pitching in. These are all things that he really wasn't doing when he was struggling. The 0-2 outside. I mean, Joe, and folks, here's a guy that in June, on June 10th, went to work with an ERA over 10.
Oof.
That's how tough it was for him to start the year. Breaking ball, bounced, base hit, left field. So just the second hit allowed in his last 7 outings. That one chops through the hole. And they're going to make a call to the bench, and they're going to go with the veteran, Jason Giambi. This is the role he fills for this club. They want to talk about it.
Pitch hitting for Jonathan Herrera, number 23, Jason Giambi.
Multiple all-star, now a guy that's just a presence in the clubhouse as a leader. Most valuable player. He's got Helton, he's got Iannetta on. Jason this year hitting .269 and on base still over .400 just about every year. He's homered 3 times. Pulled the string back on him. That's another look that he's worked on.
Ball really sunk too.
Melvin Mora has a bat. He is on deck. Giambi 1 for his last 8 inside, 1-1 the count. The 1-1. Beat him. Just beat him with that fastball. So this is the game within the game you talked about.
Yep.
The pitcher thinking, the catcher certainly saw it in Montero.
Well, he's got a chance here that he can set up the pitch after this one unless he's going to go get him. I don't think there's margin for error. I think he's got to get him as soon as he can.
6 for 25 as a pinch hitter this year.
Go out there. Saw Montero wiggle his fingers as if he's going to start over again. He's a man on second base. I wouldn't worry about him. They're not going to be calling pitches.
Change up. 2-2 the count.
Here's the pitch of decision right here. You don't want to run the 3-2.
Two. Outside again. A changeup.
A lot of decisions now. 1 out. Do you start your runners? Hold them. What do you do? Big pitch.
Couple of runners on. We'll keep an eye on those runners. They stay put. Popped him up. Threw him a breaking ball in his hands. He dropped that back shoulder. 2 outs in the inning. Joe, walk us through this pitch by pitch against Giambi.
That was that let-up pitch. It kind of sunk. Drove him back. Fastball fouled off. He was late. Outside. And that was it. You could see Gutierrez waving that hand up there. It's in the air.
So now Melvin Mora. Mora hitless in his last 12 times.
Good fastball right here for a strike would be the pitch.
Instead, he babied a breaking ball and a tie. 1-0 the count.
He threw a balloon up there that time. Don't think your way through it. Throw your way through it.
Melvin hitting .273 with runners in scoring position. The longtime member of the Orioles. Went back to the breaking ball.
To it. Held on to it. Even the count. Crowd is into it.
One. Bouncing ball, so now 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. He's shown fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. He's shown them all.
Right now, you throw in the best pitch you think you have on tonight. Could be the curveball, it could be the fastball.
On 1-2. Breaking ball. The Diamondbacks defeat the Colorado Rockies by a score of 3-1. Gutierrez with the save. And again tonight, the bullpen flawless. Long gave us a bit of a scare, but hey, that's what closers do. Nothing wrong with that. Helton, empty-handed. You want to be a spoiler? You beat a team hanging on a wild card race. You win a series and you beat them back-to-back. On a positive tonight, Joe, but how about in the ninth inning? It's a positive when your bullpen steps up. And the bullpen did tonight. What'd you think of Barry Enright?
He's a pitcher. We said that early, and we say it again. And I'll say this for Gutierrez. That spot he was in there, he's back to throw a curveball in that spot because he's known as a fastball pitcher.
When the Diamondbacks have scored 3 or fewer runs this year, they are now 8-48. That's how big tonight's win was. Good pitching, timely hitting, and a 3-1 win over the Colorado Rockies. We'll talk more about it in the postgame.